$3.96 per gallon, up 25.35% from a year ago. If inflation is cooling on paper, why does it still feel brutal at the pump? In this episode, we look at gasoline as America X's inflation billboard, the price people see first, feel fastest, and often react to before the broader inflation story fully shows up in the monthly data. Right now, regular gas prices are $3.96 per gallon as of March 23, 2026. 1 year earlier, that number was $3.16. That is an increase of 80 cents per gallon, or 25.35% year over year, and that is why this matters. Gas is not just expensive, it is visibly expensive. Unlike most prices in the economy, drivers get reminded of it in giant numbers every single week. On the chart, the story is speed. You see, gas prices move in a way most inflation series simply do not. Long stretches can look manageable. Then the line turns sharply higher. That acceleration is what changes consumer psychology. A monthly CPI report arrives once. A gas station sign hits you on the commute, on the school run, on the weekend errand, and when the line pushes back toward $4, it starts to feel less like data and more like a warning. Now compare that with the broader inflation backdrop. CPI Energy stands at 283,223, up 2.12% year over year as of February 2026. Headline Consumer Price Index is 327.46, up 2.23% year over year. So the official inflation gauges are rising, but nowhere near the 25.35% jump in regular gas. Then there is consumer sentiment at 56.6, with an 8.43% year over year change. That level is still weak by historical standards. Put these together and you get the key point. Gas can be moving much faster than broad inflation, while confidence remains fragile. This is why gasoline matters beyond its weight in the CPI basket. It is a high-frequency behavioral signal. Households do not check the CPI every morning. They do check the pump, and when a visible necessity jumps 25.35%, while headline CPI rises 2.23%, people can feel like inflation is getting worse even if the broader basket looks more stable, not because gas tells the whole story, but because it is the most public part of the story. Here is what that means in real money. If a household uses 50 gallons a month at $3.96 per gallon, that is $198.05 in monthly fuel cost. A year ago, at $3.16, that same usage cost $158. That is an extra $40.05 a month, or $480.60 a year. For a two-car household or a long suburban commute, the hit can be much bigger. And that matters for housing decisions. When fuel eats another $40 or $80 a month, it changes how far buyers are willing to live from work, how renters think about exurban moves, and how much cushion is left after mortgage, rent, insurance, and groceries. We saw versions of this in earlier energy spikes too. Not because gas alone drives the economy, but because it can quickly sour the mood and delay discretionary spending. So the real message here is not that one gas spike means inflation is roaring back everywhere. It is that gasoline can change how America feels about the economy. Fast. Subscribe to Brick and Yield, because next we are watching whether pump prices cool or start bleeding into spending, sentiment, and housing demand.